I just want to give you a little vitamin pill and strength. Everybody talked about the Meraglim so much, and I'm sure it sunk into you. Anybody who comes back from Israel and tells anything bad about Israel, tell them, my dear brother, the spies destroyed Israel. And they didn't lie, it's true. Someone comes back and says, you know, right now, don't go this summer to Israel, they're throwing stones and the Arabs, and makes you crazy. I say, brother, I read Parshah Shelach, and Baruch Hashem, I have tzitzis on, and I'm not afraid of anybody. You know, there's a story, one of the pupils of the Holy Baal Shem was walking on the street, with long tzitzis, and suddenly a high officer, a Cossack, comes and he says, oh, what's hanging down on your side? He says, the Cossack, what's hanging down on your side? He says, my sword. He says, this is my sword. He says, would you like to duel with me? He says, any time. Hold it. So the Cossack comes, you know, with the sword. And the Talmud of the Baal Shem, you know, his tzitzis were for real. He swings his tzitzis, and they touch the sword, and it broke into pieces, right? Okay, now I just want to tell you one more thing. Who's tzitzis? Yeah. I said to somebody last night, you know, there's a little Shabbos and Yom Shekulah Shabbos. A little Shabbos is, I have Shabbos, I have chicken soup, the Jewish press, I sit with my wife, little Shabbos. Big Shabbos is, I invite the whole world. Little tzitzis, they're hanging on my garment, and I can hold on to my tzitzis when I'm in trouble. Big tzitzis is that my tzitzis are big enough for the whole world to hang on. The whole world. And I want you to know, I'm begging you, friends, all of you, wear long tzitzis, because so many people have nothing to hold on to. And here I'm coming to the point. You know what people thought? The Meraglim thought Eretz Yisrael is a good land to live in. So they came back, it's not so good to live in. But they completely forgot, Eretz Yisrael is not only a land to live in, Eretz Yisrael is something to hold on to. Gewalt, we were in exile for 2,000 years. You know where we were holding on to? To every little piece in Eretz Yisrael. Every inch of soil, every stone of the holy wall. You know, I can sit here in New York, in Gewalt, I'm holding on to the holy wall. Right? So what God was telling the Yidden, the Torah, Eitz Chaim and Machzikim, but the Torah is not a Torah of learning, it's different Torah, right? Psychology is good to learn, science good to learn, to hold on to. And I want you to know this is not such a self-fabricated Torah, it's mamish the Medrash. Medrash says, God gave us tzitzis, it's like somebody is drowning, you're holding on with your last strength. One more thing, you know, it's time for the so-called Balei Tshuva. I hate the term Balei Tshuva, but whatever we call ourselves. It's time to lift up our heads. There was a time, you know what someone told me in Israel last week? I think I told it to him here. He said, what's about Tshuva? He says, as a nechtige balavera and a heintige amort, you know? That means yesterday he sinned and today he doesn't know anything. What's about Tshuva, right? Yesterday he did wrong and today he doesn't know anything. That's chutzpah, right? I want you to know, friends, the time has come for the world to know not only the Balei Tshuva know a lot, even more than the so-called tzaddikim. I want you to know, you know what Bialik says? I hope someday we'll have our own thieves, our own underground, right? We have our own rebbes. The Tshuva movement is sweeping the world. We have our own yeshivas. They're not so good yet, but we're getting there. And friends, please don't ever think you're a beginner. None of us are beginners. We're far advanced. I want you to know that most people here put everyone to shame. You know, I'm coming into Borough Park and there's a very sweet holy ladies. There's $1,000 sheitel, but where's their head? Under the sheitel. And maybe a lot of us don't wear sheitel or the holy women, but Gaval, their head is in the right place. Their heart is in the right place. So please, mamish, keep your heads high. It says, Vayigba liba b'darkei Hashem, mamish, keep your heads high. One more thing. I'm sure you know it anyway, but just I want to bless you and me with it. Moshe Rabbeinu says to Yeshua, Ko Yeshircho Metzas Meraglim. God should give you strength not to listen to the Meraglim. Now listen to this. Who are the Meraglim? The Meraglim are the biggest rabbis of the world. 10 big rabbis. Just imagine yourself, a little shmendrik like you and I, they're going on a mission, and there are 10 big rabbis, right? Okay, Kolev was, forget about Kolev, we'll come to Kolev in a second. 10 big rabbis. And Yeshua was mamish a pupil of Moshe Rabbeinu, so he's the most humble person in the world, right? All the rabbis sit there and they say, listen, I want you to know, they tell each other, it's a bad scene to go to Israel, forget it, Eretz Achel is Yeshua, don't go there. Do you know, according to the Torah, the majority decides. The Torah. You ask a Yid, Torah, right? I want you to know something very deep. God's name has 4 letters, Yud K Vav K. You know what he gave him, Yud? You know, Yud K Vav K means the way God's name is garmenting itself until it comes down, and I can understand it in my head. Like imagine Einstein wants to explain to me his theory. He has to put all kinds of garments on his theory till I get a little glimpse. Sometimes God talks to us via the 4 letters. Moshe Rabbeinu gave Yeshua the letter Yud. Mamish God's light, no garments, just straight God's light. And when that light hits you, don't listen to anybody. I want you to know, friends, thousands of Jews would have stayed alive if they would have not listened to a lot of rabbis. I know Yid in Williamsburg, he lived somewhere, had a wife and 12 children. 1937, he asked a rabbi, should I go to Israel? He says, God forbid, Israel is not from. He would have had his wife and his 12 children. Do you know why Yeshua is the one to conquer Israel? Because Moshe Rabbeinu gave him strength not to listen to anybody. Have enough guts. If the Rebbe Shem shines something into me, that's it. I want you to know there is prophecy. Eretz Yisrael is deeper than prophecy. Prophecy means I know what's happening yesterday, what will happen tomorrow. I know which Gilgal I am in. It's all cute. This is what I need to know. The greatest light of Eretz Yisrael is I have enough guts to listen to the deepest depths of my heart. The deepest, deepest depths of my heart. And friends, I bless you and me. If you and I want to conquer Israel, want to make our way to the Holy Land, make our way into Yiddishkeit, let's have the guts not to listen to anybody. I want you to know something else. The saddest thing in the world is, I want you to know everybody when they get married, they build their Eretz Yisrael. The chuppah is their Yerushalayim. I want you to know, the walking to the chuppah is like Avraham Avinu is walking in Eretz Yisrael. The standing under the chuppah is like Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim, it says, we're standing. I bless you, friends, whenever you find your soulmate, please, don't ask anybody. Conquer your Eretz Yisrael. Call your shirchom, it says, just listen to the inside of the inside. Listen to the great rabbis, the Meraglim. You know what they said? They felt like cockroaches and mamish a giant, right? I thought you're the greatest rabbi in the world. You're afraid? Yeah, tell you the truth. Shigaf Toit, this is my Rebbe. I don't want a Rebbe who is afraid. I don't want a Rebbe who is afraid of anything in the world. I need a Rebbe who's not afraid. And you know something? In exile, it's a cute Rebbe. He is afraid of this one, afraid of this one. In exile, you can make it. You can even make it to receive manna from heaven. Eretz Yisrael? No. Friends, I bless you to have guts. Inside, 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 inside. When you find your soulmate, just do it. Suddenly God says to you, Mamish, Moshe Lechana, start learning. Imagine all the holy women here would have called up all the big rabbis. Am I permitted to learn? Should I learn? Imagine Yehudis would have called up the rabbis. Should I learn Me'at Shiloach? Should I learn Biala? And you know something? If Yehudit would have called up the Biala Rebbe himself, his grandson in Geneva, he would tell her, Chas v'sholem, a woman is not permitted to learn my grandfather's Torahs. He would say, Chas v'sholem. He says, a woman? Do you know how to make chant? Heartbreaking, right? Does Yehudis need a Rebbe like this? She needs a Rebbe like Yeshua. All of us. Friends, I tell you something. If you would have asked all the rabbis, should we make a little, like Ruachel here, like a little get-together, they would have asked, how big is the mechitze? Chas v'sholem, men and women don't sit together. Do they see each other? Is the mechitze long enough? Where do you get the meat? And who is Gedalia? Who is Nomi? Who is Meir? Who is Mechol? Forget me, I'm treif anyway. And they would say, Chas v'sholem, you're not permitted to do it. In the meantime, Baruch Hashem, Gedalia has the privilege of bringing together hundreds, thousands of people. Okay, friends, good Shabbos, good Yontif. And I bless you to make it to Eretz Yisrael this summer. Don't ask questions, just go. Good Shabbos, good Yontif.